I'm wondering, so our event is called Hope Rising, this sort of justice on the horizon that we're all working towards, a more just and more safe world. I'm wondering personally, what gives you hope?
Yes. For me, my hope comes from my faith. For me, it's sometimes I feel that a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out their purpose in life. And for me, God has given me that purpose, which has allowed me to step in a space where I kind of know where I'm going in life. I know that what my plan is for the future, and I know that He's blessed that. So even thinking about my experience with human trafficking and how He's given me redemption through it all, He's given me back tenfold everything that was taken from me. And He's allowed me to come into a space to show other women that things are possible. And it's interesting because each woman that comes into our residential program, they are my hope because they're fighting the fight. They're sticking it out. They're working on their recovery. They're working on everything that was taken from them. So I definitely would say my faith and some of the residents that come into our residential program.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this morning, Keelin. What gives you hope? The theme of our event this year is Hope Rising. We're thinking about justice and what it means to have some sort of hope or some sort of wish for a brighter future on the horizon. So what gives you hope?
What gives me hope is the fact that I see, and I'm getting kind of emotional, but I see good in every person. You know, I think that what gives me hope is we are not defined as individuals based on our experiences. So meaning what has happened to us is part of who we are, but it does not define who we are. And then also that we each, all of us have something to provide and to give to this world, right? We can all make a difference is what I'm saying. Each person can make a difference in their own special way. And so we need to come together. And I do feel that when I see people working together to do their part, it really does give me hope. And then what gives me hope is seeing our youth. When our youth, tells us, what they're going through. And when our youth share with us authentically their selves, that shows me that they trust us. That shows me we've earned that privilege of working with them. And when they are able to, give us insight into how we can do better too, it's amazing because it goes both ways. I've learned so much the last 8.5 years from my youth. And I get my hope from them because I do see that change is possible. So somehow, even in a lot of the negative things that's been happening, I think I draw hope from the fact that each of us have good in us and each of us can contribute, and that change is definitely possible.
Yeah. And I'd say change isn't just possible, it's actually happening because of the work that you do. So yes.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Connor.
The theme of our event this year is Hope Rising. So I have to ask, what gives you hope?
I think what gives me hope, and really the reason that I do this work every day, is all of the little ones in my life. I look at my niece and my nephew who are 4 and 1.5 and 21. I look at, the little baby cousins in my life, my godchildren, even my younger siblings. And when I look at them, I have hope that their life and their upbringing and their well-being is going to be radically different than mine when I was growing up. And that's what gives me hope, knowing that their future is going to be so much brighter than mine because I'm doing my best to leave this world a better place than I found it. And so I think every time I look at those littles in my life, that's what gives me hope to keep moving forward. And that's what gives me hope that all of the work that we're doing now, that baton will be picked up by this next generation.
Completely. Well, I think you're a great inspiration for all the little ones and for the next generation. So thank you. But I'm wondering, what gives you hope?
Well, other than just the gospel of Christ and the transformative impact of the gospel of Christ, seeing that hope played out, seeing the transformative impact of the gospel of Christ played out in the lives of these survivors, girls that have been through horrific situations, enslaved, many of them raped 10, 15 times a day, to see them restored and healed and come out on the other side full of the love of Christ to share with others, and to want to get involved in this fight to help rescue other girls or educate other girls, or to create awareness of what's going on in their own communities. And in addition to that, not only lives that have been transformed, but the communities that have been transformed. So for example, SPIPOC Cambodia, where AIM, the center of our work is right now, was once a center for child sex trafficking in Southeast Asia. Children were being bought and sold on the street. Pedophiles were traveling from all over the world to visit SPIPOC Cambodia. That has all been shut down. And where there once were brothels and massage parlors and karaoke lounges, where girls were being trafficked, and like I said, children were just being bought and sold on the street. That's all been shut down. There's now a church, a school, a community center, employment center where the girls work. And so through the love of Christ and actually a planting of a church in that community has been transformed. That's only possible through the love and the blood of Christ. And so that's what gives me hope, is to see the gospel in action, to see Christ's love in action, not only in individuals, but also in an entire communities.
Yeah, it's all about that balance, and with God in the center, everything comes together. Thank you so much, Amy. The theme for our event this year is Hope Rising. So I'm curious, if we're thinking about hope, we're thinking about a brighter future, a world that is free of human trafficking. And I have one question for you. What gives you hope?
Gives me hope. When I see my nephews who have struggled with trauma that's not their fault, take responsibility for it and make better choices. When I see people make what people would probably term a sacrifice, but taking their own personal time and investing that in learning best practice and learning things that will help their healthcare system to adopt best practice and be able to teach others best practice and continue to move this forward. That gives me hope, because I know then that those things will be self-sustaining.